Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to another team analysis by the 12th man. Today, the team that we're going to cover is Delhi Capitals. And like I promised here on this series, not only will we have cricket analysts or those who are associated with the sport in some way, but also fans of that particular team, so that there's a lot of emotions involved when they analyze that particular team. Today, I have with me Lakshit Singhal. He's a lot of people in one. He's He's a lawyer by profession. He's an author. He has his own ebook series going along. If you're interested in reading it, that's up live right now, if I'm not wrong. There's a lot about the history of cricket that you can learn from Lakshit. A lot of content coming along, and all in all, a very all-round cricket creator. I am so happy to have with me author, lawyer, and Delhi Capitals fan Lakshit Singhal.
Hi, Ujwal. Thank you so much for having me. It's a pleasure to be here.
Love having you here, man. Lots of things to talk about today. आज के डेट में अगर हम दिल्ली कैपिटल्स की बात करें, हमारे जो पिछले कुछ लाइव अभी तक हमने केकेआर और आरसीबी को एनालाइज करा है, पर बार बार ये बात उठी है कि दिल्ली कैपिटल्स की ऑक्शन स्ट्रेटजी सबसे अच्छी थी. दिल्ली कैपिटल्स ने मेक श्योर किया कि कुछ टीम ज्यादा बिड करे प्लेयर्स के लिए. दिल्ली कैपिटल्स ऐसे ही अपना बिड बढ़ाया जा रहा था. एज अ दिल्ली कैपिटल्स फैन, फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल, व्हाट वाज योर रिएक्शन टू दैट ऑक्शन?
Right. So, yeah, I saw a lot of memes regarding the Delhi Capitals auction strategy. But yeah, so on a whole, I am very satisfied with the Delhi Capitals auction strategy. I think they have managed to build a very strong squad. They have the foundations are very strong going into the future. And they have somewhat replicated the balance which they created few years ago with their last team. So yeah, I think they have managed to do very well in the auctions. Yeah, there are a few gap holes which I think might uh, affect them, but overall, I'm very satisfied with the squad they have created, and I think they will be they are going to be a tough side to beat in the upcoming years in IPL.
Absolutely, there's no doubt about that. And if I had to take you straight to the auction picks, आपने मतलब एज अ फैन भी, एज एन एनालिस्ट भी, काफी चीजें होती हैं दिमाग में कि हमें ये प्लेयर चाहिए, हमें ये नहीं चाहिए. इफ द अच्छा, ऐसे चालू करते हैं. प्लेयर जो आपको लगता है दिल्ली की पिछले साल टीम में था, अभी होना चाहिए था. सम ऑफ द प्लेयर्स दैट यू मिस्ड आउट ऑन दोज लाइंस.
Shreyas Iyer to begin with, I really adore Shreyas Iyer. I think he should have been in the Delhi squad for reasons known to people. I think he is not in the squad, but I really wished to see him continue in the squad and as a leader again. So I really adore his leadership skills as well. So I think KKR has managed to got him at a very good price because he is an all-round package. He's a very good He's a very good batter. He's a amazing leader. He's a good fielder. So yeah, Shreyas Leader is one player I really wish that we continue to have in a squad. But nevertheless, I think we still managed to get David Warner. I think that was as everybody has been saying, it's a steal. But yeah, I think David Warner will cover up a lot of bases for us. Yeah, he is a very good batter. He's a very good opener. But I still think that the benefit he brings to the squad is as a backup captain as well. In case there are days when Rishabh Pant is not available, I think David Warner will come up handy as a backup skipper as well. So I think that pick from Delhi Capitals at 6.25 crores, it's amazing. It's incredible to say with. I think that was a pick of the auction for me to just sum it up there. At
आई एग्री.
6.25, David Warner, amazing. Just too good.
मैं ऑक्शन से पहले वो अर्ली प्रिडिक्शन लिस्ट बना रहा था पोस्ट के लिए,
Right.
तो उसमें भी मैं मतलब ऐसे सेग्रीगेट करते हैं ना कि ये ज्यादा हो सकते हैं, कम हो सकते हैं. मैं डेविड वार्नर
Yeah.
अबव 12 लिख के बैठा था कि टॉप 2 टॉप
Yeah.
3. वो सरप्राइज 6.25 फॉर डेविड वार्नर, एंड दिल्ली कैपिटल्स हैव हैड एन एब्सोल्यूट स्टील देयर. एंड लाइक यू सेड, ही इज द
Yeah.
बैकअप कैप्टेंसी ऑप्शन फॉर देम. If in case Rishabh Pant has to be rested, if in case he has any reason to miss a match or two, David Warner can easily
Yeah.
step in. He's actually a much more experienced IPL captain if you think about it. And
Yeah.
that's a great steal. So now getting to the players you feel Delhi Capitals could have had but have missed out on.
Um, okay, so
आपको कुछ
obviously
लगता
there
है?
are many. Yeah, there are many players who they should have had. I think in the bowling department, apart, they retained Henrik Nokia, but I still feel they should have had another gun bowler, which who would have complemented Henrik Nokia. Yeah, they have managed to get a lot of good Indian bowlers, but I still believe like someone like a Rabada, who complemented Nokia, because the 8 overs of Nokia Rabada, like something which Mumbai has at this point of time. They have 8 overs of Jofra Archer and Bumrah. Okay, Archer might come in the next season, but still,
Yeah.
those 8 overs create a mental pressure in the opposition team even before the match starts. So I think
Exactly.
that is something Delhi Capitals will miss somehow. But
Mhm.
so one is that area, and another player I wish to see in the Delhi squad is a power hitter. So like a Shimran
Yeah.
Hetmeyer we had. So I
Mhm.
think these are the two areas where Delhi Capitals might miss Hetmeyer or someone like Hetmeyer or Rabada. So yeah, because there are a lot of players who I wish were in Delhi side. There are a lot of my favorites as well. So, but still, I think they managed to cover up again. As I said before, those bases are still covered in other players' form. I'm really happy. We'll talk about it in the later part, but I'm really happy the amount of young players DC has,
Yeah.
uh, they got in the squad. I'm really happy with that. I think that is one thing which separates them from other teams. Even in the last auction which we saw, they really put their efforts in the young players in developing them, and then somehow they just managed to take their teams to the playoffs and even in the finals. So that
Absolutely. There's three very important things that you've talked about here, actually. I'll go one by one on those. First of all, you
right.
said you talked about the bowling attack that Delhi Capitals has
Yes,
now. Personally, I'm a Punjab Kings fan, so I am very happy to have
Ravada.
Rabada.
Yes,
But talking about Delhi Capitals today, do you feel it's some sort of a downgrade that Delhi has had in their bowling attack? I feel you are going from Rabada, Nokia, and Avesh Khan to Nokia is still there, Shardul Thakur, and a Chetan Sakaria or a Khalil Ahmed. So, do you feel that fear of the bowling is something that they've missed out on? And in that case, even in the spinners, there's somebody like a Ravi Ashwin who's not with them anymore. Is it a sort of a downgrade in the bowling attack?
okay, so in the immediate seasons, we might feel that there is a downgrade, but I think if we see in the long run, I don't think so. Delhi Capitals will feel the brunt for very
Yeah,
simple reasons. I think they have picked up a lot of good bowlers. So in the spin department, if we see, yeah, we let go of Ashwin, but I think we still got Kuldeep Yadav at 2 CR, which was again a very good buy. So he is there, and Akshar Patel is always there. So spin department, I still feel it's like more or less covered. The point of pressure and the terror you said about having like the missing of Rabada or
yeah,
someone like an Archer. Yeah, definitely. I think that will be missed. But I think Delhi Capitals has invested in the younger players. For example, we have Vicky Ostwal. He recently performed in the Under 19 World Cup. He was very good. So as I said, immediate IPL you might not see the results, but I think if we see in the long run, I think so we will be able to see the results from their players.
there was a very interesting thing I read here today. मैं पढ़ रहा था कि दिल्ली कैपिटल्स ने बहुत पहले बिड डाला था विराट कोहली पे 2008 when विराट was here and second last bid was theirs and they after sort of a bidding war they let him go to RCB and apparently after that they haven't let any under 19 captain go. They bought Unmukh Chand that way back.
Motion.
They have Prithvi Shaw with them right now and again they've invested
Right.
in Yash Dul. So
Yes,
probably
Dhol,
in
yes.
under 19 formula they're not willing to risk it anymore. थोड़ा एक्स्ट्रा लग रहा है but they're willing to buy these players, groom them, and that's a very good formula to have, like you said, कि younger players को अपने साथ रखो. In the end they're bound to give you results, and even if
Precisely.
they're not, there's an energy they bring to the team, there's some sort of enthusiasm they bring to the team, it's always going to be worth it.
Precisely. I think they got Yes Dhol for 50 lakhs. So I
Exactly,
think that was a very good pick, I should say. And I think today is all days the DC camp will be really happy. He just scored 100 in the Ranji Trophy.
exactly.
So I think he can be a good potential again, a potential skipper you can say, or a potential performer
Yeah,
for the DC. Only time will tell. But going by the
it's
strategy, I think they have invested in the right players. So I think that
exactly.
is from the management point of view. I think they have done well that side.
Right. So before we get to the finisher end of the discussion, the third thing that I had to mention, a quick question we'll take up from Udit here. He says, can they play Kuldeep and Sakarya at the same time? What's your take on that?
I think they can, considering they will be playing most of their matches at Kotla.
Hmm.
So I think Kuldeep and Sakarya both can be played in the team. Also, they have a very good, you can say, a backup team as well. So for each player at each position, they have a backup ready.
Absolutely
So I think it won't be a problem to play Kuldeep and Sakarya both at the same time.
true. And the third thing, Rahane also scored a century, by the way. Yes, Udit,
Absolutely.
and
I think
Indian
there
cricket
are
is happy.
another player, Sarfaraz Khan, who Delhi bought, has also scored a century today. So I think the DC camp will be really happy to see that today results in Ranji Trophy.
Yeah.
So I think, yeah, it's a good day for Indian cricket. I think Ranji Trophy is back after a very long time, and seeing all these players score century. So
Yeah,
not only
we
centuries, just to see them play and perform well, I think it's a good feeling.
exactly. And we want Rahane to be in flow for a while. That's one thing for Indian cricket fans, not for Delhi Capitals fans. I think
Absolute.
they let him go this time. But
Yeah.
moving to finishers, the third thing that you talked about, also a very important
Yes.
point. Um, यू मेंशन शिमरॉन हेटमायर शिमरॉन हेटमायर ने बहुत टाइम बहुत अच्छा परफॉर्म करा दिल्ली कैपिटल्स के लिए एंड देयर वाज सॉर्ट ऑफ दैट टेंशन फ्री अप्रोच फ्रॉम देम कि हेटमायर कैन कम एंड हैंडल दिस सिचुएशन और बहुत बार उन्होंने 150 बनाती हुई टीम को 170 पहुंचाया 180 पहुंचाया है बहुत बार उन्होंने 5 ओवर और में जो चेज होगा वो 2-3 ओवर में चेज कराया है वेयर इज दैट फिनिशर इन दिल्ली कैपिटल्स हु डू यू सी इट डूइंग मिचेल मार्श को लिया है पर ज्यादातर लोग बोलते हैं कि मिचेल मार्श नंबर 3 बैट्समैन हो गए हैं T20 में उनको फिनिशर की तरह खिलाना है या नहीं खिलाना रॉबिन पॉविल है बट वो 3 डाउन 2 डाउन खेलते हैं वेस्ट इंडीज के लिए नॉट एग्जैक्टली द फिनिशर दैट शिमरॉन
Okay.
हेटमायर कैन बी तो where do you see this a combination of players is that some particular player you're looking at as the finisher for Delhi?
Okay, so I think Mitchell Marsh will not be able. I think they won't use Mitchell Marsh as a finisher or a player who can come back in the last 2 3 overs or play that role. Roman Powell, I think they have gone with that mindset that he will be playing that role as a finisher. But as you said, he's still an unproven candidate in that category. He's still young. He's still proving his mettle. So I'm not sure how that will go. But yeah, I think Roman Powell should be the candidate DC will be focusing on as a finisher. And we also have Sarfaraz Khan, who can play that role. He has shown
Yeah,
glimpses in the past IPL as well that he can play that role. So I think
yeah,
these will be the potential candidates which DC will be looking upon. But again, as I said before, they will be missing that gun finisher, that power finisher who can come in the last 10, 12 balls, hit it off the park, and basically change the status of the game from 150 to 180, or basically take your team to across the finishing line. So I think they
exactly.
will be somewhere missing that finisher. So I think that is one of the gaps the DC squad will be missing. But yeah.
Okay, and a
Mm.
lot of talks about different components of the team. I'll take you right to your playing 11. So, going segment by segment, let's talk openers, let's talk top order batsmen. Starting that way, your playing 11 for Delhi Capitals. Let's start openers. I think there's no doubt there. Prithvi Shaw, David Warner
Yeah,
खेलेंगे. उसमें
absolutely. I think
मैं आपसे क्या
those two
पूछूं
will be.
आगे अगर बढ़े.
Yeah. So number three, I will like to see Mitchell Marsh to be tried at number three, at least in the
Okay.
immediate seasons.
Mm-hmm.
So, and in case there is like whenever there is a conflict in the number of foreign players who can play, either Mitchell Marsh or I will really try to see Bharat. I think Bharat is a very good candidate at number three. He has played well for RCB in the previous season as well, and he also
Absolutely.
has a very good like he has like I think number three we can try somewhere Mitchell Marsh, and this also answers Udit's question as well. Who will be the backup for Marsh? I think Bharat can be a good backup for Marsh. Yes,
Agree.
Mitchell Marsh also bowls, but I think his fitness is always an issue. And again, then we don't know for how much time he will be allowed to play or not. So yeah, number three, Mitchell Marsh or Bharat. The number four, Rishabh Pant. Number five will be Roman Powell, and number six, we can either have Sarfaraz or Mandeep. Ideally, I will like to see Mandeep in that much more higher order, but considering Delhi has already sorted out their top four, I don't see Mandeep getting a chance in top four, at least in the immediate future. So either he will have to play at number 5 or number 6. And then number 7, Akshar Patel. Number 8, we can have Shardul Thakur.
Mm-hmm.
Then Kuldeep Yadav at number 9. Chetan Sakaria at number 10, and Enric Nokia at number 11. So this will be my probable 11 for the upcoming season at least, and then we will have to see later on how it goes on the availability of the players also, because so we have 20, like we have a squad of like squad of 24 players, and there are a lot of players who will I like to see play. Like as I said, Yash Dhul is there, Vicky Ostwal is there, Lungi Ngidi is again a very good proponent, but again he is restricted by number 4, that they can only play 4 foreign players. So that really creates a conflict either to play Lungi or to Marsh or Powell. So I think these things the management will have to basically clarify at some point of time. But yeah, so that will be my first playing 11.
Sounds good. And all of these players that I was just mentioned by Lakshit, we've put that down in the comments for all of you to see. There's Marsh or KS Bharat at number 3 and Mandeep slash Sarfaraz at number 6. Rest of the players have been fixed up as well. Your comments on this team, the changes you would like to make, let them flow in. Moving forward, Lakshit, to the team that Delhi has again. You were talking young talent. Do you see a place in this season for players like Kamlesh Nagarkoti, Praveen Dubey, who has done well for them? Then there's also Khalil Ahmed, who could step in for Chetan Sakaria. ललित यादव खेले थे, रिपल पटेल खेले थे. मतलब रिसोर्सेज बहुत सारे हैं दिल्ली के पास, और ऑब्वियसली सबको अपॉर्चुनिटी नहीं मिलेगा. पर अगर आपको मान लीजिए बैट तीन तीन कैटेगरी देख लेते हैं, बैट्समैन, ऑलराउंडर और बॉलर. अगर मान लीजिए कोई एक इंजर्ड हो, किसी एक को रेस्ट करना हो, तो हु आर योर फर्स्ट गो टू ऑप्शंस इन दोस रिजर्व्स?
So I think Ripan Patel will be one of those. He played in the last IPL as well, and he has showed glimpses that he can basically play. So yeah, I think Ripal Patel can get a chance somewhere. In as again, as I said, as you said, like as he will be played as a backup player somewhere.
Yeah.
Then Khalil Ahmed could come in for Chetan Sakaria to give that advantage of a left arm. Khalil Ahmed, I think Delhi got lucky with Khalil Ahmed because the bid, as you might have known, the so yeah, there was a bit of blunder in the auction. So it was
Yeah.
Mumbai who was supposed to get Khalil, but Delhi got lucky. So I think yeah, but he can be a good backup for basically Sakaria or Ahmed. These two will give that advantage of a left arm seamer to us.
Mm-hmm.
So he can be a potential player as well. Kamlesh Nagarkoti again, I think he can be tried, but I think till the time Nokia will be there, and we have, I think Nagarkoti might he might get it will be difficult for him to make it playing 11 most of the times until unless there are a major like there are a number of injuries. So, but yeah, he can be tried as well. Mustafizur Rahman again we have. So I think there are a lot of players. It's difficult to make it.
Yeah.
I think it really depends on the season strategy which the team management comes up with. So it depends on where you are playing. For example, if you're playing in India or you're playing in UAE, so situation changes that there as well. So I think uh, that will formulate the strategy. And again, we'll have to see what combination the team management or Ricky Ponting comes up with. I think he is very smart in that way. He knows who to play where and which player can basically make an impact. And DC is known to have like the DC is known to give their players a long rope. So even if a player is not performing for like a couple of matches, because I've seen this with other franchisees, they basically drop their players after a couple of matches if they're not performing. But DC, right? Even RCB does that. I'm really like I don't know because Virat Kohli, as much I know him, he's known to give long ropes to players as when he's performing for Indian team. But I was really
Yeah.
surprised to see some of the players not getting that their due in that franchise. And I'm really hoping that those players now, when I've gone to other franchises, might get that opportunity. So, but yeah, I think DC that way is really secure as a side. They give good amount of opportunities to their players to perform and groom. So yeah, we also have Tim Seifert. I missed his
Yeah.
name, but I think he can also be a potential opener or a backup opener when David Warner is not available with us.
Yeah. And
So
one more thing, I think Team Seifert can also be a backup at number 3 for Mitchell Marsh. He's batted number 3
true.
earlier for New Zealand also. और
Right.
पावर प्ले में अच्छे हिटर है, एंड ही कैन स्टे फॉर लॉन्ग इनिंग्स एज वेल.
Absolutely. So yeah, I think as I said
वेल
before, DC
राउंडेड,
has a very
वेरी वेल
good
राउंडेड स्क्वाड अभी तक हमने जो भी
rounded,
बात करी.
all-rounded hai, a very good backup team as well. So if you have injuries or if you want to give your players some rest, you have backup for each spot till from first to 11. So I think that makes the DC side a very potential side. But yeah, apart from the a few loopholes, and obviously it depends on how the player performs on that particular day. From the auction strategy point of view, they have done the job. I think they should be very satisfied.
Absolutely. And another player Udit is thinking of a backup for is Andrik Nokia. I think Mustafizur Rahman would be their go-to in
Yeah,
case Nokia isn't
yeah. I
playing.
think I do. I still think there is no backup for Nokia, but yeah, if
अभी
someone can
अभी
come
वो
close,
सिचुएशन आ गई तो.
yeah, if someone can come close, it's Mustafizur Rahman. Yeah, definitely.
Absolutely. And who will anchor the innings for DC? Another one for Udit. I think anchor batsman is one thing that they will be looking forward to. आपके हिसाब से कौन है जो anchor करेगा इस
It
innings
has
को?
to be it has to be Warner. So because
One.
see, Prithvi Shaw will play the role like he will basically there for 5-6 overs, and after that
Yeah.
it will be just sheer amount of how much he can continue. But I think it has to be Warner who will play that role of an anchor for DC.
Absolutely.
So yeah, I think
That
that
is
will
one
be it.
place where we miss Shreyas Iyer actually.
As yeah, definitely. Shreyas Iyer, as he was a very calm and composed batter, and there have been occasions when the side was struggling. For example, they lost their couple of or 3 wickets in the power play, and then used to come and stabilize the innings. And then in the end, it was Pant or then Hitmeyer who will just come and finish the innings for them. So basically, I think this one Shreyas Iyer will be
Warner.
missed. Another player who will be missed is Stoinis. I think Marcus Stoinis gave them a very good a middle balance. The
Yeah.
batter who can come at number 5 and 6 and also bowl 2, 3, or sometimes even 4 overs. So yeah, I think Stoinis will be missed, but I think let's just get satisfied in what we have.
Yeah,
So
let's not be too greedy, says the fan from Delhi
right,
Capital. But अभी दिल्ली की हमने काफी बात करी, बट इंडिविजुअलिटी में दिल्ली अभी बहुत अच्छी टीम लग रही है. लेट्स टॉक अबाउट द टूर्नामेंट एज अ होल. Of course, Delhi did well at the auction, but it's not the only team that did well. So if you had to think about now, not from the angle of a Delhi fan, but from the angle of an analyst, your take on the best form teams this auction, and the teams that will actually भूल जाते हैं कि टूर्नामेंट आ रही है, बस ऑक्शन परफॉर्मेंस पे अगर रेट करें तो टीम वो जो बेस्ट 4-5 टीम आपके हिसाब से जस्ट ऑन ऑक्शन परफॉर्मेंस.
okay. So I think Lucknow Super Giants have done really well. I really like their picks. They have a very good side. They also have a very good backup players to fill up their team. So Lucknow is one side I'm really looking forward to see. They also have a very good skipper in form of KL Rahul, and so yeah, I think Lucknow has done really well. I'm really impressed with
एब्सोल्युटली लखनऊ
Lucknow's
इज वन.
performance.
स्टोइनिस भी
It will be
आपका
one
लखनऊ
team.
के पास है.
Stoin, yeah. So they have a really that as I said, like what the composed side. They have a very good, they're very balanced side, and I really am looking forward to teams which have a strategy for next 4 or 5 years. See, what we forget is that this is not an auction for the next year. This is an auction for a foreseeable future. So we have to look at it that way because as like fans or as cricket analysts or whoever is related to the sport, we just see it. Okay, this IPL, this player will perform, and then we just like talk on those points. But I think as a for a team which we are looking to see, which is to be built for the next 4 or 5 years, I think Lucknow has done really well. Another team, I think Punjab has done well this time compared to their previous auctions. So yeah, I think I'm really looking forward to. See, I really adore Anil Kumble and the way he strategizes things. I think yeah, he got a lot of wrong things with Rahul and Mayank or in the previous side, but I think he can. I think they have gone there. They have done their auction strategy part right this time. They have got good players. The side is well composed, so I think they can be uh, we never know. They might just finally turn their tables in IPL fine for after a
Exactly.
long time. So yeah, Punjab is one team who's done well. Rajasthan also has done considerably well. I think they have good players. They
बहुत
they
अच्छा
also have
टीम.
retained their core. I think that is
राजस्थान का
important to retain the
बॉलिंग
form.
अटैक देख के मेरे को घबराहट होती है,
It's
मतलब ट्रेंट
yeah,
बोल्ट है, अश्विन है, चहल है।
yeah. They've got good bowling.
या
See, but
सो
again, that's the point. There are many teams who had this like potent bowling attack in the previous IPL as well. But it all depends on how they're managed and how they're used. So
एग्जैक्टली
I'm really looking forward to the like after the auction is done, how the management and the teams basically gel up and how they come up with the strategy. So that will be yeah. Auction point of view, Rajasthan has done well. So yeah, I think these will be my top three things from the auction strategy point of view. Other teams have done well, but I'm really looking forward to see how these three teams come up when the actual season starts.
I agree, and like that's Lucknow, Rajasthan, and Delhi and Punjab Kings for all of those who missed out
Punjab.
on that. Udit is a KKR fan, so he really wants you to say KKR did well, and he also
See,
said yes,
KKR has done well, but I think KKR will miss. So they don't have all of their bases covered, as I feel. I
Hmm.
think they will miss. I don't know why they retained Andre Russell in the first instance. I really don't know. He's not available half of the time, and even if
Yeah,
he's unfit. So I really didn't understand that strategy from KKR management. They have a very good leader, Shreyas Iyer. We know. So again, there are I think so they can be a good side, but I think they have a lot of holes to plug in, which will only be will know they lack basically a middle order power hitter like Delhi. So because if we in one match we don't have Andre Russell, then I'm not sure who will play that role. So yeah, I think KKR decent, but still like I think they haven't covered all their bases well.
right. And we're about to touch the 30-minute mark. Before we do that, I'd like to throw you on the spot with a few questions. Let's start with, if you had to rate Delhi Capitals team out of 10, what would you give them?
Okay, out of 10, 8 or 8.5
That's a good
somewhere
score,
in
8 or
range.
8.5. We've
Yeah,
had an RCB fan come here and rate his own team 5, and we've had a KKR fan
wow.
come in and rate his own team 7. So this is the highest we've had till
Okay.
now, out of three teams only till now. But
Yeah.
Delhi seems to be highly respected as of now within the fans as well. And Udit is on a roll basis. कवर कर लेते तो डीसी को क्या मिलता, सोशली रिस्पॉन्सिबल।
Yeah. No, that's a good point. That's a good point.
Udit just has that KKR fan feel inside him, but
No,
that
I think that's really good. He should retain that.
yeah,
It's
that
fun that
happens.
way.
IPL, you always support your team. There's a lot of interaction to
Absolutely.
do. Anyway,
Absolutely.
one more here is, if you had to think about a surprise pick or a value pick from Delhi Capitals. Number one, a player you didn't expect they would actually get, and a player you think they've got for a very good value. Actually, दूसरा पार्ट आपने काफी प्लेयर बोले हैं, विकी ओस्वाल आपने बोला, यश धूल बोला, पर सरप्राइज
Yeah.
पिक अगर आपके लिए कोई है इस टीम में?
Okay, surprise pick. Shardul Thakur, maybe. I know he has gone for 10.75, but I think it was a very hot bid for Shardul Thakur. There were a lot of teams who were interested in him, and even the bidding was quite furious for him. So I think that was a good pick we got. I really didn't expect that Delhi will get him. I think Shardul Thakur, and he is a very good prospect for 10.75. He is a very good all rounder that way.
आई एग्री, मतलब
So
समटाइम्स व्हाटएवर ही टचेस टर्न्स टू गोल्ड। दो तीन मैच में एक मैच
yeah,
को अकेले भी जिता देते हैं, तो बहुत अच्छा भाई हो जाता है
right.
actually।
Yeah, and I think he's really improved in the last few years. I know he hasn't like he wasn't that. So there are players who just come and surprise you. They'll shock you. So he hasn't been that person, but I think he has grown over the years. He has really matured as a player, both as a batter and a bowler. So, and I think this will be a good opportunity for him to because he can be a good asset to the Delhi side here.
I agree.
So,
I agree. And one more value pick that we did discuss is Kuldeep Yadav. Then there's Yashdul, there's Vicky
yeah,
Oswal. बहुत सारे ऐसे players लिए हैं दिल्ली ने. Um,
no, sorry.
before we touch the 30-minute mark, anything that comes to your mind that we haven't discussed about Delhi Capitals, or anything you feel we should really look forward to this season?
Um, I think we should look forward to Delhi winning the IPL finally. not just
First,
reach the playoffs or the semis or the
yeah.
finals. I think we should
Uh-huh.
finally see them winning this to just go that final touch. I think that has been missing for a very long time, and I'm sure that is going to happen because they are on the right track. I really believe they have a good squad, so it's just a matter of time. I think they will be able to crack that. So yeah, I really hope to see Delhi lifting that trophy. So
Yeah.
yeah, I think
That
that
that's a fan speaking. We want to see Delhi Capitals lift the trophy, and I honest, even though I want to see Punjab Kings lift the trophy as a fan, I'm happy seeing a new team lifting. It's either Delhi, it's Punjab, any of these new teams lifted. Uh,
that too. I really hope a new team winning the IPL trophy. It's been a long time, man.
that'll be a happy feeling. And to end this on a light note, Udit also says that he's willing to give 10 crore for their owner to sit in the auction
Uh,
for their team.
man,
That's a
he was so good.
what a
Those like he
strategy.
was so good, man. I really enjoyed seeing. So whenever the Delhi Capitals bid was there, I really knew something is going to happen. It was
Yeah,
that
and
good because I
he was
knew.
having fun out there. He was laughing it off.
Yeah, and he said it on mic as well. Like I'm playing with them. So
Yeah,
it
he
was
said, "No,
really
I'm not playing with them." He said, "Let's go till 5. We'll see what happens." So
yeah.
he
So yeah,
was
I was
really
playing that. Yeah, I think it was really good to see them bidding. I think it was fun.
true. And on that light note, I think we should be ending this live broadcast talking about Delhi Capitals. But there is a lot of discussion we still have coming for other teams. There's a lot that we discussed today with Lakshit Singhal. All of you watching, there's a couple of things you must go and check out. There's Cricket Field Chronicles on Instagram. Lots of talk about the history of cricket. Lots of talk about cricket in general. There's an ebook series that Lakshit has written. The first edition is already out. Go and check it out. Make sure you read it. There's a lot of good cricket content coming from him always, and look forward to his content like I always do. Thank you so much, Lakshit, for being here. It's been fun having you. It's been fun discussing Delhi Capitals with you. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Ujwal, for having me. It was really nice. I really hope to talking more with you in the future on anything cricket.
Definitely,
So
definitely always.
yeah,
Thank you so much.
thank you so much.